You are listening to Minuteman Radio here on Minuteman Mountain. Welcome to Minuteman Radio's 1-year celebration. In this radio broadcast, we'll have more music and less talk. We'll have some of Minuteman Radio's best songs from its first year of broadcasting. Even though Minuteman Mountain's been around for 3 years, Minuteman Radio is celebrating 1 year of broadcast. Make sure to remember to subscribe and hit that like button and share my videos with your friends. Yes, we have reached our 1,000 subscriber goal, but we have a long way to go. So remember to go back, view my channel, find my playlists, and pick your favorite miniseries and get your Minuteman Mountain binge on. So now kick off your boots, take off your Kevlar, put your rifle down, and kick back and listen to a little bit of Minuteman Radio here on Minuteman Mountain on YouTube. Attention all Minutemen! Attention all Minutemen! Calling all Minutemen! You are now tuned in to Minuteman Radio, the only listening station designed for modern day Minutemen. Let's kick off the show with a little bit of Gary Owen's March by Bobby Horton. Believe it or not, it does have words.
Sons, be not dismayed, come join with me, jovial play, come booze and sing, and lend your aid, and help me with the chorus. Instead of spa, we'll drink down ale, and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail, from Gary Owen in glory. Sheriff run, we will cheat the bailiff of his fun. We are the boys no man dares to dun if he values his own skin. Instead of spa, we'll drink down ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail, from Gary Owen in glory. We'll break the windows, we'll break the doors, their watch will fall by threes and fours. Then we'll let the doctors work their cures while we tinker with our bruises. Instead of spa, we'll drink down ale, pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail, from Gary Owen in glory. Stout have brought us fame, for some 'tis known from whence we came. Where'er we go, they've read the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead of spa, we'll drink their ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail, from Gary Owen in glory.
You may recognize Gary Owen's March as Minuteman Mountain's opening theme music. And if you love the smell of napalm in the morning, then you're definitely going to love this next song. This is Ride of the Valkyrie by Wagner, here on Minuteman Radio. Now it's time for another Minuteman Mountain Minute on Minuteman Radio.
A constitutional republic, not a democracy. The ideal of a democracy is universal equality. The ideal of a constitutional republic is individual liberty. A democracy always degenerates into dictatorship, which promises government-guaranteed equality and security, but it delivers nothing but poverty and serfdom for the people it robs and rules. America was founded as a constitutional republic to safeguard the liberties of the people against the tyranny of democracy or of one-man dictatorship. In this century, great strides have been made toward the goal of subverting our republic into a democracy. The foremost tactic of the subverters is subversion of language. By calling America a democracy until people thoughtlessly accept and use the term, the totalitarians have obscured the real meaning of our principles of government.
That was former FBI agent Dan Smoot explaining why we pledge allegiance to the republic for which it stands. Communism, socialism, Marxism, it's all the same. Ain't I right?
You came down to this southern town last summer to show the folks a brand new way of life. But all you've shown the folks around here is trouble, and you've only added misery to their strife. Your concern is not to help the people, and I'll say again, though it's been often said, your concern is just to bring discomfort, my friend, and your policy is just a little red. Now ain't I right? Ain't you right? Ain't you right? It matters not to you how people suffer, and should they, you consider that a gain. You bring a lot of trouble to the town and then you leave. That's part of your communistic game. I detect a little communism. I can see it in the things you do. Communism, socialism, call it what you like. There's very little difference in the two. Now ain't I right? Ain't you right? Ain't you right? Your followers sometimes have been a bearded, bathless bunch. There's even been a minister or two, a priest, a nun, a rabbi, and an educated man have listened and been taken in by you. All the country's full of two-faced politicians who encourage you with words that go like this. Burn your draft card if you like, it's good to disagree. That's a get acquainted communistic kiss. Now ain't I right? Ain't you right? Ain't you right? One politician said it would be nice to send some blood and help the enemy in Vietnam. That's what he says, here's what I say, let's just keep the blood. Instead, let's send that politician man. Let's rid the country of the politicians who coddle tramps that march out in our street, protesting those who want to fight for freedom, my friend. This kind of leader makes our country weak. Now ain't I right? Ain't you right? Ain't you right? Let's look and find the strong and able leaders. It's time we found just how our neighbors stand. If we're to win this war with communism, let's fight it here as well as Vietnam. Let's rise as one and meet our obligations, so communistic boots will never trod across the fields of freedom that were given to us with the blessing of our great almighty God. Across the fields of freedom that were given to us with the blessing of our great almighty God.
That song was Ain't I Right by Marty Williams. And there is no power greater than that almighty God.
Man may talk about his power and his will to have his way, how he can take the lives of man and rule them all someday. There's one thing he's forgetting in the great plan he does make, that God gave to him everything and everything can take. There's a power greater than atomic. It's the power of the one that sits on high. If he strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die. rock within the mountains will melt at his command. So when you're planning power that will sweep away the sod, don't forget there is no power to equal that of God. There's a power greater than atomic. It's the power of the one that sits on high. If he strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die. To the island of Bikini, great men came and plans were laid to prove to all the people what power he had made. But after it was over, even through the blinding steam, the sea and sky unchanged it grew, that God is still supreme. There's a power greater than atomic. It's the power of the one that sits on high. If he strikes us with his mighty power, not just some, but everyone must die.
That was the Buchanan Brothers singing There Is a Power.
Uranium, 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 uranium. I'm gonna dig this stuff, boy. Oil so vanishing and gold don't glitter no more. Hey, oil so vanishing and the gold don't glitter no more. Well, diamonds are common, baby, I'll take you the score. Hey, packing up the borough, I'm gonna take a ride. Hey, packing up the borough, I'm gonna take a hike. Well, we're going to the mountains and make a uranium strike.
That was Uranium by the Commodores. Now that last song had the vibes of the Fallout video game and TV show. Let's stick with this Fallout feel and play Way Back Home by Bing Crosby here on Minuteman Radio.
Are the dustiest, the winds are the gustiest, the gates are the rustiest, the pies are the crustiest, the songs the lustiest, the friends the trustiest, way back home. Back home. The trees are the sappiest, the days are the nappiest, the dogs are the yappiest, the kids are the scrappiest, the jokes the snappiest, the folks the happiest, way back home. Don't know why I left the homestead, I really must confess. I'm a weary exile, singing my song of loneliness. The grass grass is the springiest, the bees are the stingiest, the birds are the wingiest, the bells are the ringiest, the heart's the singiest, the arms the clingiest, way back home.
What about the sun?
The sun's the blaziest,
And the
feels the daisiest,
and the cows
how's the graziest,
and the hares
the help's the laziest, the boys
are the wittiest,
the girls
are the prettiest.
way back home.
The pigs are the snootiest, the owls are the hootiest,
The plant's the fruitiest, stars the shootiest,
the grin's the funniest.
the smile's the sunniest, way back home. Don't know why I left the homestead, I really must confess. I'm a weary exile, singing my song of loneliness. The food is the spreadiest, the wine is the headiest, the pals are the readiest, the gals are the steadiest, the love the liveliest, the life the loveliest, way back, way back, way back home.
No place like home,
Sweet home.
That was the ballroom scene music from Jerry Lewis's Cinderfella, written by Count Basie. Let's continue the Count Basie vibe with a little bit of Cute here on Minuteman Radio.
dear brother, for it's time for us to gather. God is getting mighty angry for the sinful things we've done. He gave us all this blessed land, and this I cannot understand. A weapon of destruction to destroy its everyone. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. Yes, it happened in Korea, where our boys are bravely fighting for the peaceful way of life and our democracy. Have mercy on us, Lord, I pray, watch over them both night and day. We're praying for the whole world and your help to keep us free. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. The fathers and the mothers, sisters, wives and children, brothers, are still weeping from their losses in the last war cold and still. Oh Lord, please lend a helping hand, we know that you will understand. Save us all these heartaches if it be your blessed will. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls. When that hell bomb falls, when that hell bomb falls, they'll be screaming, dying, praying when that hell bomb falls.
That was Fred Kirby with The Hell Bombs Fall. Next up is Al Rex, Hydrogen Bomb, here on Minuteman Radio.
Bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. Bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. It's a big loud noise in your ear gone. Bomb, bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Well, Jonah got lost in the belly of a crazy whale. Well, Jonah got lost in the belly of a crazy whale. He was a solid man and dig that crazy tale. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. Bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. It's a big loud noise and your ear gone. Bomb, bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Well, Daniel was a real cool cat, they say. Well, Daniel was a real cool cat, they say. He did the mambo with the other cats, ole, ole. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. Bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. It's a big loud noise and your ear gone. Bomb, bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Gabriel had a horn that was all real. Well, Gabriel had a horn that was all real. He was a real gone daddy with a solid booty beat. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. It's a big loud noise and you're real gone. Bomb, bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Well, Judgment Day will come someday, they say. Well, Judgment Day will come someday, they say. And when it does, we'll all be rocked away. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. Hey, bomb, bomb, hydrogen bomb. It's a big loud noise and you're here gone. Bomb, bomb, the hydrogen bomb. Gonna blow me out of this place. They're building a bigger bomb. What a crazy human race. Let them kill us all and we'll stand and watch. Well, brother, that ain't for me. I'll be running and a jumping and a skipping and a bumping when they blow me to smithereens. Now, I'm not a man that's scared of things, least things I knows about. But when my tater patch left the ground, I started right then getting out. I figured it was time for all good men to rise up and really shine. And I'll bet you anybody that saw me leave's gonna say I sure did fine. They're building an atom bomb, gonna really cook our goose. They're building a bigger bomb, done turn the little and loose. I'll never get out of this world alive, but brother, I can blame sure try. I'll be running and a jumping and a skipping and a bumping when the first big smoke goes by. Now, fellers, I fought in World War I, and that was quite a brawl. And old number 2, that was really bad, cause that we all recall. I'm a-wishing for a way to the moon, and soon, before this next one starts, I wanna get up there all in one piece, and not just part by part. They're building an atom bomb, blow me out of this place. They're building a bigger bomb, what a crazy human race. Let them kill us all and we'll stand and watch. Well, brother, that ain't for me. I'll be running and a jumping and a skipping and a bumping when it blow me to smithereens. For me is up in them hills in a cave way back in the rocks. When that thing goes off, I'll get the jar, but none of the real bad shocks. With a trusty gun and a can of beans and an old hound dog or two. If there's anybody left, it's gonna be me when all of this mess is through. They're building an atom bomb, gonna really cook our goose. They're building a bigger bomb, gonna turn the little and loose. I'll never get out of this world alive, but brother, I can blame sure try. I'll be running and a jumping and a skipping and a bumping when the first big smoke goes by. Now you think I'm lying, but it ain't no joke, cause I used to live real close. A flash of light made a day of a night, nearly scared me out of my clothes. My old hound dog went raving mad and was deaf for a week or two. When we quit running, he was pearting or dead, but we figured that's the thing to do. They're building an atom bomb, gonna blow me out of this place. They're building a bigger bomb, what a crazy human race. Let them kill us all and we'll stand and watch. Well, brother, that ain't for me. I'll be running and a jumping and a skipping and a bumping when they blow me to smithereens.
That was Glenn Barber's Atom Bomb.
Yeah.
And of course, after a hydrogen bomb and an atom bomb, you're going to have a radiation baby by George McKelvey here on Minuteman Radio.
A significant song of social protest you can dance to.
Wow, 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 yeah, 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 wow, 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 wow. You wanna see my baby, she'll really make you stare. She holds my hands in both of hers, while her other one strokes my hair. She's my radiation baby, she's my teenage fallout queen. The other night I met her down by the hot dog stand, and she was waiting there for me. Her heart was in her hand.
Yeah.
She's my radiation baby, she's my teenage fallout queen.
Here comes the dramatic part now.
I remember it well, my darling. The night we had our fight. You threw my class ring into the grass as we sat in the park that night. We were kissing, dear, and making out up when we saw the blinding light. And I didn't know that you weren't with me, dear, when they locked that shelter tight. You went back for my class ring where you left it in the pot. Now when it's on your finger, dear, it glows in the dark. You're my radiation baby,
You're my teenage fallout queen.
Ship-doo-doo-doo-wah.
Your clothes look like a sack to me. And your hair is getting thin. But I saw when you came back to me that it had cleared up your skin. So, hold me close, my darling, 'cause I know what you've got. My Geiger counter, dear, tells me that you're hot. You're my radiation, baby. You're my teenage fallout queen.
Next up, the 1943 recording of Well Get It with Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra and Buddy Rich from Dewberry Was a Lady here on Minuteman Radio.
is the red we've got in the old red, white, and blue. It's the right red, not the wrong red, and the old flag knows it too. We've got a true blue-red flying overhead, waving free to see us through. The only red we want is the red we've got in the old red, white, and blue. We know the red we want is the red we've got in the old red, white, and blue. It's a brave red, not a slave red, that means liberty to you. We know the time's at hand to strike up the band. Let us tell the whole world too. The only red we want is the red we've got in the old red, white, and blue.
That was Elton Britt with The Red We Want is the Red We Got. Next up is Sammy Kahn and Paul Weston's Civil Defense March here on Minuteman Radio.
Heads up, America, let's stand prepared with our defenses high. Heads up, America, a land that is prepared can never die. Every woman and every man must be part of the CD plan, must be ready with every eye up to the sky. Heads up, America, for America must never, never die. Freedom is everybody's business. Everybody must take his turn. Freedom is everybody's business. So let civil defense be everyone's concern. Let every family work together, and together our minds will show. In defense of our land, united we'll stand, ready for any foe. Defenses high. Heads up, America, a land that is prepared can never die. Every woman and every man must be part of the CD plan, must be ready to meet whatever they may try. Heads up, America, and America will never, never die. Heads up, America.
That was Major Glenn Miller's American Patrol. Let's kick it up a notch with Benny Goodman's Sing, Sing, Sing here on Minuteman Radio. You are listening to Minuteman Radio here on Minuteman Mountain. If you feel like we're living in some hard times, then this next song is for you. The 2nd South Carolina String Band plays Hard Times Come Again No More here on Minuteman Radio.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Life away with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her voice should be merry, is sighing all the day. Oh, hard times song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lonely grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more.
You are listening to Minuteman Radio here on Minuteman Mountain. Now it's time to start the second half of our program with a message for those of you stuck behind enemy lines.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
That was Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, third movement, Presto Agitato by Valentina Lisitsa. This next song you may recognize as the traveling up and down Minuteman Mountain theme music. Yes, that's right, you guessed it. Gin Lane, Over the Hill and Far Away, here on Minuteman Radio.
Hark now the drums beat up again, for all true soldiers, gentlemen. Let us list and march, I say, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. All gentlemen who have a mind to serve a queen both good and kind, enlist and enter into pay, then over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. No more from sound of drum retreat, while Marlborough and Galway beat the French and Spaniards every day, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. 40 shillings on the drum, for those who volunteers to come. The shirts and clothes and present pay, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. The apprentice Tom he may refuse to wipe his angry master's shoes, for then he's free to sing and play, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. We then shall lead more happy lives, by getting rid of brats and wives. Hold on both the night and day, over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away. For if we go 'tis 1 to 10, when we return all gentlemen as well as they, went over the hills and far away. Over the hills and o'er the main, to Flanders, Portugal and Spain. We none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away.
That was an instrumental version of Johnny Comes Marching Home by an unknown artist. If some of you are wondering if I'm an actual veteran, the answer is yes, I am. I was a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne. I was with the 2nd and 325 as a Humvee gunner. I've been trained with pistol, rifle, grenade, missile, 50 caliber, and Mark 19 fully automatic grenade launcher. But the late 90s seems such a long time ago. But not as far back as these next two songs go. So put on your boots and parachutes and listen to some 82nd Choir here on Minuteman Radio.
Put on your boots and parachute, shoots, we're going up, we're coming down. Put on your boots, we're all American and proud to be. Boots and parachutes, with the soldiers of liberty. Shoots, we're going some brother fighters to the enemy. We're coming out, there's a sky parachute burst. Put on your boots, we're all American and fight, we will. Boots and parachutes, all the guns of the force still. Get ready! Airborne from skies of blue. Stand in the door. We're coming. Make your jumps and take your bumps today. Let's go, put on your boots. Your jumping boots, your parachute. Your parachutes, get all those gliders ready to attack today. Look up, or we'll be gone. For rigor check into the dawn. And station time to fight them all. The 82nd way. Hey, hey! Put on your boots and parachute. Shoot, we're going up. Soldiers of liberty, we're going some brother fighters to the enemy. We're coming out of the sky, parachute burst. We're all American and fight, we will. Boots and parachutes, all the guns of the force. Get ready! Airborne from skies of blue. Stand in the door. We're coming through. Make your jumps and take your bumps today. Let's go.
That was Gory Gory, what a hell of a way to die. And God bless the families of those soldiers who did die for our country. But remember, make the other bastards die for their country first. And when you do go, make sure you go shouting the battle cry of freedom by the 2nd South Carolina String Band here on Minuteman Radio.
Gone before, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll fill their vacant ranks with 1,000,000 free men born, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah, down with the traitor and up with the star, and we'll rally round the flag for the rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. We will welcome to our numbers of loyal, true and brave, shouting the battle cry of freedom. And although they may be poor, not a man shall be a slave, shouting the battle cry of freedom. A Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah, down with the traitor and up with the star, and we'll rally round the flag for the rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. call from the east and from the west, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll hurl the rebel crew from the land we love the best, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah! Down with the traitor and up with a smile, and we'll rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
You are listening to Minuteman Radio here on Minuteman Mountain.
Soldiers all love. The cook tends the place that we mean, and the dish we love best to find there is the old-fashioned white army bean. 'Tis the bean that we mean, and we'll eat as we never ate before. The army bean, nice and clean, we will stick to our beans evermore. Now the bean in its primitive state is a plant we have all often met, but when cooked in the old army style, it has charms we can never forget. 'Tis the bean that we mean, and we'll eat as we never ate before. The army bean, nice and clean, we will stick to our beans evermore. Is fond of sauerkraut, and the potato is loved by the Mick. But the soldiers have long since found out that through life to our beans we must stick.
They'll stick to us.
'Tis the bean that we mean, and we'll eat as we never ate before. The army bean, nice and clean, we will stick to our beans evermore. The army bean, nice and clean, we will stick to our beans evermore.
That was the 97th Regimental String Band with Army Bean. Now that our belly is full of army beans, it's time to go off and do some work with the Colonel Boogie March by the U.S. Coastal Band here on Minuteman Radio.
December the 7th, 1941, our land of freedom was defied. December the 8th, 1941, Uncle Sam replied, we did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again. We've got a heck of a job to do, but you can bet that we'll see it through. We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again. We're one for all and we're all for one. They'll get a licking before we're done. Millions of voices are ringing, singing as we march along. We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again. We'll knock them over and then we'll get the guy in back of them. We did it before, we'll do it again.
We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again.
We've got a heck of a job to do, but you can bet that we'll see it through.
We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again.
We're one for all and we're all for one. They'll get a licking before we're done. Millions of voices are ringing, singing as we march along. We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again.
We'll knock them over and then we'll get the guys in back of them.
We did it before, we'll do it again. Millions of voices are ringing, singing as we march along. We did it before and we can do it again, and we will do it again. We'll knock them over and then we'll get the guys in back of them. We did it before, we'll do it again.
That was from an old recording produced by Sam Costello. We did it before, and we can do it again. You may recognize the next song as Minuteman Mountain's closing theme music. This is Robert Mandel's medley, Pack Up Your Troubles in Your Old Kit Bag, and A Long Way to Tipperary here on Minuteman Radio.
Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye to Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. In your own kit bag and smile, 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 while you've a Lucifer to light your fang. Smile, boys, that's the style. What's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So pack up the troubles in your own kit bag and smile, smile, smile.
Everybody grab your sack of wine because now it's time for yours truly to play the banjo, harmonica, foot tambourine, and sing some songs for you here on Minuteman Radio. You are watching Minuteman Mountain on YouTube. We have reached the end of our program. I'd like to thank all of you for listening. But don't go away yet. Stay tuned after the credits for a bonus track. This broadcast was the best of year one for Minuteman Radio, but there was a lot of talk and a lot of comedy that wasn't included in this broadcast. In the old ones, there was old commercials, comedy skits, and more. And occasionally you would get a good war story from a combat veteran. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. But most of all, if you haven't seen the original broadcasts of Minuteman Radio, make sure you go back and watch them now. This is Minuteman Mountain signing off, reminding you to stay ready. Manere paratus. And stay tuned for the bonus track.
Play it again.
Now where's that hidden track? Where's that damn hidden track? Oh, there it is.
It's a long way to Minuteman Mountain. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Minuteman Mountain, to the freest place I know.